Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to the stream. All right. So, yes, happy Monday. How was your weekend? Mine was actually pretty good. Um, we are definitely going to jump into this whole entire, um, remote image loading thing because we're still working on that. You know, I stopped last week. We got some of it working, but we didn't get all the way through it. And let me show you social media proto. So this weekend, I was in a hackathon, which was really cool, and I made this app. Let me show you like a quick demo. I have it on Twitter if you haven't seen it, but let me go ahead and fire up the Twitter because I was like really happy with like the demo. And not here. It's all the way at the bottom of this. So like I was able to play with Vision and Core ML on iOS, and it was really cool. And this is like the actual preview. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. So hold on. All right, that's a little bit better. Anyways, the idea is like you would be able to scan a license plate and then you would be able to leave like a chat message on it. And I thought it was pretty cool. So like as you can see, I scanned my license plate and then it gives me like a little area where I could enter in some type of text. And then from there, you just like send a message to that person, whoever has that license plate. And then yeah, like that's just the main idea. But I thought it was really cool because like just being able to send messages or like have an entire thread of like what's going on with somebody's license plate. I thought it could be a pretty interesting idea, but I was learning, you know, vision, which I thought was like really cool and pretty fun. So that was my weekend. What did y'all do for your weekend? How did you spend it? I spent mine coding. I had fun. I liked it. It was all good. All right, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right, let me see. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and run the app. I think I need to be connected to stuff, right? Let's go ahead and connect because we need a physical device over here. And let me think. How far did we get? I know that we were able to load images. I think what we needed to do was cache the images next, right? Because we were showing the images, but we actually needed to cache the images because we don't want to keep downloading the same images. And you can see that right here. So we're loading, but we're not caching them. Whoops, wrong one. Please stop. All right. And it's not showing my device, no. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. iPhone, like so. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we have here. So I think the idea of this was to get back a list of file paths. So then what we would need to do is we would have to check out this directory and yeah, directory path, local path. So we get local path and then we check what is in there. So I guess I would need to, this is under path provider. we need a little bit more information on path provider. And I think that's where I stopped actually. So I was like looking up stuff on path provider, trying to find some documentation on it. So let's start at the source. Been watching Game of Thrones lately. Okay. So we have an example. That's the temporary path. We don't want temporary path. Applications directory. That's what we're kind of looking for. And then I need to get a list. So Flutter path provider list list files, I guess. There we go. And get files count. Call it, what? Don't call what? What's going on here? I get the list of files from the users folder. Okay, that's what I want. Get files from directory. Files in directory. Let's see if that's actually a thing. Get file. What do they call it? Files in directory. It's not looking like a real thing to me. Yup. Okay. Looks like I could have probably used this instead. So directory, and then I could create a directory. Okay. Temporary file. Let's see. My directory. Did I maybe use the wrong thing? Let's find out. Create. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a directory first. So we just do directory and then and then we do whatever directory, right? Holding a path on which operations can be performed. The path directory can be absolute or relative. All right, let's try that out. So before we do that, let's go ahead and create a directory. Void create image directory, shall we? All right, so we'll call it cached image directory, like so. And let's go ahead and try to do final cached image directory is equal to directory, like that. Create a path, and we'll just call it cached images. From there, let's see what else. The following simple code creates a directory using the create method. By setting the recursive parameter to true, you can create the name directory and all its necessary parent directories if they don't already exist. To give access to the directory with a specified file path. And then let's see, list the entries of a directory. So, let's see if we can actually do it here. So, this is a directory. Cached image directory path. Okay, we can get a path. So then what happens if I just do this? Like, instead of doing the local path, right? What happens if I create my own, right? Like so, cached image directory. Then I just go ahead and pass in this, actually, this right here. What's going on, Mata Mata? We are building, oh, I never actually pulled it up, huh? We are building like a social media type app where you're able to just like post an image, and then you're also able to leave like a caption on that image. And it's pretty basic. We're keeping it real basic like. So let me show you the app. It was brought up and then it just stopped showing. Where did you go? Social media. Where is it? Social media proto. Oh, it looks like since it's not running on this device, something caused it to go off. Anyways, it's just a basic social media app, so I'm just trying to get the images going. But yeah. All right, so we have, what's going on, Abrar? I'm doing pretty good. I was saying a little bit earlier that I was in a hackathon this past weekend, had a good time, made a cool app, and actually even won a prize. So, or not a prize, but like I won a category certificate, which I was pretty happy about. So it was pretty good. It was a good weekend. How was your weekend? Did you do anything exciting? Did you just chillax? Okay, so if we have our cached images directory path there, then we add the image key like that. Then, let's see. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and run it. Very cool. I like your work. Thanks. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Got a lot of work to do this week. I'm going to be super busy. Lots of stuff to catch up on, but it's all good. It's good stuff. I'm actually giving a talk tonight at a little event called Underdog Devs. So I'm going to be talking about full stack development and how that works with freelancing. So that's going to be a little bit of what I'm talking about. Yep, I made a dictionary app related to our mother tongue, which crossed 3,000 downloads on Play Store. Oh, that's awesome. Wow, that's like a lot of people. 3,000. Nice. How did you go about marketing it? Like, how did you get the 3,000? I'm just kind of curious. Did it hit like the top of the charts in the Play Store, or did you do like, did you buy ads, or do you just like do you know like a lot of people on social media? Like, how did people find out about the app? I should probably like put out an app and then like see how well it does, because I don't really have like a real app out there. I have like a bunch of little baby apps, apps that don't really do anything. But hey, they're on the App Store. Okay, so Can we see it live stream? If you're talking about the talk tonight, you'd have to look up Underdog Devs. I don't know if they have like a website or anything, but let's see. Underdog Devs. I mean, this is their Twitter. And then you can find the event right here on Eventbrite, Spring into Swift. So the event is called Spring into Swift. If you go to Eventbrite and search for Spring into Swift, I think you can find it. Yeah. All right. So what's going on, Manly? How are you doing? How was your weekend? Okay. No problem, Mata. Let's see. So that it didn't like that when we created our own create recursive true so then what does this give back? A future. All right, we can do it. We could do that. All right, so then let's see what happens if I run it now. Okay, what you doing? What you doing? I contacted some public figures of our state on Instagram and also an article published on digitalizing our literature. Yeah, this is much. That's pretty cool. That's really good on you because reaching out to people to like help promote your app is like a really great idea, and I don't think that enough people are like willing to do something like that. What do you think about Flutter for web client side? I haven't really worked with Flutter for web yet. I still haven't built a website. I was thinking about adding it to like this little challenge that I still haven't been able to finish. I still need to get these last 5 days in. But anyways, I still haven't worked with Flutter web, and I've heard that it's not like the best when it comes to search engine optimization right now. So yeah, that's what I've heard, but I haven't worked with it. I would assume that it'd be pretty cool once they, fix any bugs or whatever. But yeah. Let's see. I sent it forward it along. We can talk through it in a meeting this morning. Overall, super positive. People were really glad about your work. People love your YouTube videos and engagement. Oh, cool. So I guess I got some good news coming. I got some good news coming with my feedback that I got last year for work, which is cool. But that's not what we're focused on. What we're focused on is figuring out why this doesn't work. So we have this cached image directory, but now it doesn't seem to load. All right. So let's see. All right. Well, there should be a way to list files anyways, right? What is this? System temp directory. Okay, let's say that we have a directory. Then we have a list function on it. Okay. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to go all the way back. Local path, right? This supposedly works. Supposedly, Then what we want to do is, where's my get image function? All right, so then what we're going to do just go back here. All right. So then, all right. Let's see. We have the local path. This is going to be asynchronous, right? And I'm confused on CloudDB storage pricing. You can post data to a WordPress blog with no data costs, but if I use, let's say, Firebase on my mobile app, I get charged once I hit a quota. Yeah. I'm confused on CloudDB storage pricing. You can post data on WordPress with no data costs. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would assume that at some point you have to start paying for WordPress, and then that's probably, you know, part of the fee. But I would assume that, like, when you're talking about database storage for files, generally it should be relatively high when it comes to posts, right? Like, if you're gonna have a WordPress, you're probably talking about like a blog or something like that. And I would just assume that, like, if you're gonna do a blog, it's probably gonna take a lot of images to actually hit 1 GB of storage. And usually the quota is like a per month type storage or something like that. But yeah, I don't know Firebase's pricing. I don't even know Amplify's pricing when it comes to that, because it's like through S3. But yeah, usually it's like the interaction, which is what you're charged for, or maybe it's the whole storage. But usually it's more than enough to host a blog, is what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Okay, get saved file. Okay, so then let's go ahead and get our local path again. Final path. Wait. Local path. Then what we do is path.list, right? So that doesn't, oh, okay. You know what? I think it's just this. It's the directory, and then that's what we do. Directory dot list. There we go. All right. Not sure how that happened, but okay, whatever. Okay, so then what does this list give me? Final items or something like that. And what does list return? File system entity. Okay. Let's see what it says here. Recursive true, follow links false. Okay, so let's go ahead and do entities. Entities like that. Recursive is true. Follow links is false. Not really sure what that follow links is part, but hey, we're learning. Then what we do is we can do entities dot for each, and then we'll just print out each element. Print element dot path. Right? Don't need two awaits. Not sure why I have them. All right, so then this is just going to, let's see. Let's not pass in a path, shall we? Let's just make it. All right, so when we initialize, what is this? Okay, I guess this is going to... All right, that's fine. Get saved files. And this is going to happen 3 times because we have 3 different images that are trying to be displayed. So let's go ahead and stop it, and then we will start it again. So the idea here being that we're trying to get the images. Oh, you know what? We should have like a class that's doing this for us, actually. A class that's going to cache the images and all that information for us, but that's fine. We will get essentially 9 printouts, theoretically. And the only thing that I don't like is the fact that I don't have a subdirectory. So what can I do to create a subdirectory? Yeah, I wanted to create a subdirectory, but I don't know. Maybe if I were to create it, maybe if I were to do this, then use that path and then create the subdirectory like that, maybe that would work. Who knows? Check it out before the meeting. All right, so we got the images, right? So then that means that we should have gotten back some print statements. Might have been high, might have been duplicates. I guess it would have been much easier if I would have marked it, huh? So what we can do is we can do, since it's a printout from Flutter. Okay, here we go. All right, so as you can see, we got these file paths, which this is exactly what we need. This is good stuff. This is that good stuff. Ooh, yes. Okay, so we got our images here. Let's go ahead and try and create a new directory. My day has been really good so far. How about you, Lee? Also, I don't know how to say your name. Can you put how to say your name in the chat so that I could actually refer to you, properly? Because I hate the fact that I can't say your name. And then you also keep coming back to the stream, so I want to be able to talk to you normally. I'm assuming it's hella early where you live. Yep. It is 6:50 a.m. Yeah, 6:50 a.m. So it's a bit early. I like to kick off my days with the live stream. It makes me feel like I did something, right? Better than nothing, right? Like, so no matter how busy I get today, I will have done something. So yes. Let's see. Let's see if we can create a directory like this, right? So we have that directory. Now we want to create cache image directory is equal to directory, or it's equal to a new directory like this, directory, directory dot path. And what we'll do is we'll turn this to a string. path, and then cached images, and create. Hold on, what does this actually do? Hold on. Does this, all right. If path is a relative path, it will be interpreted relative to the current working directory. Let's go ahead and just do create, because I'm guessing creates the directory if it doesn't exist. That's exactly what we want. Let's see, when we do create, we have some options. If recursive is false, only the last directory in the path is created. If recursive is true, all non-existing path components are created. So what is it by default? I'll just do it like that. So let's see if we can create the cached directory, and then if we can do cached image directory dot list. Oh, this is an asynchronous function. Async or await. I have a few more questions. Do you mind? I don't want to bother too much. No, definitely ask your questions. I'm here to hang out, talk, help. But yeah. How my name is spelled. You could pronounce it as lie. Okay, lie. I'll do lie. So lie, let's see. Yeah, lie. I was saying earlier that I was in a hackathon this past weekend, had a good time. Everything's all good, loving it a whole lot. How was your weekend? And today has been pretty good because I just got good news saying that, hey, like people gave me good reviews during my feedback last year. So that's really cool. Or I guess my feedback on me about how my work performance is. So I'm happy about that. All right, let's see. Why is this not loading? There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, so if we're able to get the files and then we list out, well, okay. If this is empty, or like if we're able to create this and it doesn't blow up, then we should be okay. That should be like a sign that we're okay. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and print created. There we go. So now when it runs, we should see created pop up 3 different times. When we try to list the items in, like the entities in our directory, we should get nothing. And then if we were to try to save items to that directory, then we should be able to, well, we should be able to do like whatever we want with like those items. So then we'll know exactly which path we're looking for, and then we can check if we already have those images in that path. So yeah. I've seen one of your vids before. You've been approached by a large tech company. Do you still work with them? If you don't mind me asking. Yeah, I work for AWS actually. I am a developer advocate. Hold on, it didn't blow up. 1 second. Okay, hold on. Downloaded image created. I didn't get created. Hold on. Now I'm confused. Maybe it wasn't able to do it. All right. I'll answer your question right now, but I just want to see saved files. created cached. Actually, I didn't need to do all that. All right, created that. All right, so let's see if we can get this to work again. We'll stop it and we'll run it. All right, so back to your question, lie about being approached by a large tech company. Yes, so I work at AWS. The title is Senior Developer Advocate, but I just say Developer Advocate. So I'm a developer advocate, which means that I just do videos like this for you. I just get to do stuff like this and have fun. And then like teach you all about Amplify. So I'll just go ahead and plug my little Amplify for y'all. Which is essentially, that's the team that I work on. Like I'm on the team that's responsible for building out Amplify, making it a better tool, and essentially making it so that we can build out backends and stuff like that as front-end developers, front-end, mobile developers and stuff like that. And we don't really have to spin up a whole entire server because that gets tedious. So, so that's what I'm using for this app, actually, for my backend, to save the images, to actually save the data and things like that. And yeah, I just kind of build little products, play with Amplify, figure out like how we can make it better, hopefully make it the best product out there for creating a backend. And that's pretty much what I'm here to do. All right. So how does Instagram publish different UI updates to different users, A/B tests, but without users having to update the app through the App Store? They probably use a concept called feature flags. So let's see. All right. We're only getting it once. That's kind of weird. Hold up. Serialized model could be found with that name, and it will be get saved files. Oh, here we go. Okay, so it's being printed out 3 times. That's why. Okay, so next step is let's go ahead and replace this right here with this right here. And cached image directory path like that. And we'll still use this. So put it back. But we won't be calling that. Hold up. Where are we calling this get saved files thing at? All right. All right, let's go. All right, stop it and let's go. All right, so Manly was asking, how do they do A/B testing? So A/B testing is A/B testing you can do probably without doing an update is you would use feature flags. So a feature flag is like a value that's in your backend. It's usually just a true or false, right? Hence the name flag. And then the feature is guarded behind that feature flag. So I'll actually do a video on this. It's a pretty interesting concept that I never even thought about. But essentially, like somebody that's able to control your backend, and then sometimes there's a whole entire interface that's built out to do it. But essentially what you do is you do a if true statement, like if this feature flag is true, then show this entire feature. If false, then don't show that feature, obviously. So what you would do is you'd build out your entire feature, right? And then you can like set it up so like, okay, I know, users in this region because I have their location information, right? Um, and that's probably what Instagram does. Like they have like location information, and or maybe they roll it out by some different standards. But essentially, they are able to choose which users they're going to select or target, and then the users that are in that group will be having their feature flag set to true. So whenever they open up their app, what happens is they're able to actually see the actual feature. So that's how they're able to do A/B testing like that. Or that's probably one of the ways that they do A/B testing. My weekend, Lai was saying, my weekend has been somewhat productive. Been dabbling with machine learning models and working on a personal project. Overall, everything's great. So that's really cool because I was actually working with machine learning kind of. I This weekend I went out, I took a bunch of pictures of car license plates, and then I tried to train my own model. Spoiler alert, it didn't work out as I thought it would. It was actually way less accurate than I thought it would be, but hey, you gotta try. But that was the first time that I had ever worked with machine learning and trying to train my own models. And apparently it's much harder than I thought it would be. Obviously, it was foolish of me to think that I could like learn something like that in one day, but it was worth a try. It was a good experience. Or it was an interesting experience because it wasn't necessarily a good experience because things didn't work out and I was trying to build something with it. But anyway, I won a prize, so I'm happy. All right, so now we're using this new cached image directory, and what we should be able to do, and actually I want to get, you know what, I don't, first of all, this should not be a function, or a get, I'm sorry, it should be a function, okay? Local path. And then it should actually be get cached image directory. All right, so that's what it's going to be from now on because, I don't know, that just feels weird. The fact that we're going to have, we're going to have an asynchronous property just feels weird. It's like, get that thing. So this, let me see. And we're going to return back a directory instead of directory. Like that. So we'll wait for this. I'm going to just say path like that because that should actually work. Right? Because this is a directory. Yeah, directory, and a directory has a path. Yeah, I'm gonna say this should work. There we go. All right. So now what we can do is let's go ahead and build out a class that's going to be responsible for caching our images and then pulling them from our cache. So we can do that in wherever, I guess. New file, image cache.dart, like so. We'll go ahead and call it a class, call it image cache. And we should actually make a singleton. Okay. Speaking of hackathons, how was it? I'd assume you had a ton of fun. I actually did have a lot of fun. It was really cool. I ended up actually winning like this little certificate. I won I won like let me show you what I got. It was like I won an award. It was like the out of the box award. So where did I put it? It's just easier for me to like look stuff up on Twitter. There's a lot of cool ones. Look at, that's me. Look at, I won that. So that was pretty cool. I was pretty happy about that. And then this is the final product. I'll try to show it again. So essentially you scan a license plate and then it gives you the ability to send a message on that license plate, which I thought was a pretty interesting idea. So I was like the entire time I was just working on that one part that showed you how to scan a license plate. That was like the entire thing. And then everything else I just kind of built around that just so that it'd be like a functional app, right? But that was like the main part of like what I wanted to show off, which, or like the main part that I wanted to learn was like this little piece right here that pops up super quick. This. So as soon as I do this is like everything that I was working on and building and focusing on the entire time. And it's just like a really quick thing. So it was just like a small little feature of the app, which you could just type something in and do it manually, right? But I just thought it'd be really cool to use Vision, and that was the entire idea. But yeah, all right. What's good, Kenny? Welcome. Thanks for joining. Uh, oh, I wanted to reach out to you. Your video, the I had watched it the other day, like in passing, and it was like what tech bros say or something like that, and that was a good one. I was laughing at that one. Great stuff. If you haven't seen Kenny's channel, definitely check it out. He has some great content over there. Huge shout out. Think Kenny German. I think that's it. That's the one. Nailed it. Yeah, this one. See, look, I've been watching your videos. Good stuff. Like it. Okay, so let's build out the image cache. And the way that I would probably do this is I'm going to be using a singleton just so that we can access it pretty easily. Don't really remember how to do a singleton in Dart singleton with a E. All right, so we got our singleton. I remember that singletons were really weird, or when I was learning them, they felt really weird. Yeah. So static final, you build the thing, and then, yeah, this whole entire internal thing. See, this is a part that I was really confused. Like, what is that? Oakley dokily. Yeah, it's just really weird. Okay, so static final image cache. What was it? Then I call it. We'll call it shared or something like that. Oh, okay. So the way that they're setting it up is they're not. Okay, got it. Okay. So whenever you create the instance itself, that's actually the singleton. Okay. See, I was used to doing it like this. Singleton instance. So let's see, singleton 2. I like this. I like this one because that's what we do in Swift. So I'll just go ahead and do it like that. Yeah. Yeah, that red bar is full. Yeah, I like it. I'm in the presence of goats right now. How's the Flutter grind? It's good. I really wanted to switch back over to iOS and Swift. I'm still working on this project right here, which is taking forever to finish because I'm only working on it in the mornings and I haven't finished the remaining 5 videos of hashtag 30 days of Flutter. It's taken me so much longer than that. But there's a lot of good stuff that I'm learning along the way, and doing the live streams in the morning makes me feel productive. So there's trade-offs just like anything, but honestly, I kind of want to get back to native iOS development. That's my love. It's the love of my life. Private constructor. Does this actually work? It does. Interesting. Okay, so then we have a private constructor. We have the static final, and then we have the instance, and then we have the real instance. Got it. Okay. So I don't think I'll ever get used to the static final. What was it? Okay. Image cache, or instance, I guess. Instance, like that, is equal to image cache private constructor, like that. And then the last one is just a get on that. So static image cache get instance is equal to instance image cache dot. Nope, obviously I can't do it. Oh, returns instance. There we go. Not gonna lie, Kilo, I might steal your app idea and do my own twist on it, because now I'm curious on how vision works. Yeah, take it. I mean, there's like a lot of things that, you know, other people can improve on that. I'm probably not the first person to do something like that, but yeah, go ahead and take it, improve on it, put it out there into the world. I would love to see what you come up with. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. I miss my Kotlin. Yeah, even Kotlin, like I haven't touched Jetpack Compose really since even it got released into beta, and I really want to get back into that. It's just like I made a commitment to finish this, and now I'm just kind of like straggling on it, you know, just like meh. I got to do it, so I'll do it, but it's kind of blocking the other things that I really want to get into, especially since I have like these video ideas that I really want to cover, and it's just like got to finish this first. So that's where I'm at. All right, so we got the image cache. So now what we should be able to do is add in our functionality where we have this get this cached image directory, right? So I'll paste that here. Let's go ahead and import everything that's needed. Dart.io path provider, like so. So then we get our image directory, right? And we also, let's see, get image directory. And I don't know how fast this lookup is, but I would assume that it's much faster than having to download something again, right? So then what we would do is would get a future string or future boolean, maybe, I don't know. Let's go ahead and just go with void. The idea here is to get the cached file, right? If it exists. So essentially what I'll try to do is I'll get the cached file to load the image. And then that's when I will update the file. However, if that doesn't work, then I will have to download that file. That sounds about right. All right, so get cached file. I tried Jetpack Compose, got extremely lost. Now I'm running a Mac on a Mac OS virtual machine, things you love to see. Oh, interesting. Okay. So like I have never been like a huge fan of virtual machines. Like I just feel like they're really complicated and the setup, and then it's like, well, I mean, when I do a virtual machine, since I'm on a Mac, it's like to go to Windows or maybe to do Linux. I've done Linux before. But at that point, it's like, I don't even know why I'm like the use cases to use a virtual machine just to have Windows or to have Linux have been very small. So like, I don't remember even how that process works. So yeah. Future project idea, a series on making an RTS game without any animations. What is real-time shooter? Without any anim... Is that what that is? RTS game. Real-time shooter? RTS game. What does that mean? I'm not a huge fan, like, so real-time strategy. Got it. Okay. I could kind of see that. Without any animations. Okay. That would be interesting. Yeah, there's some good logic in there. So oddly enough, I'm not really into game development, and I think that the thing that kind of turned me off from it was I was listening to a podcast by I was listening to it like quite a few episodes, but I was listening to a podcast about some game developers and their experience in the industry, and they just said that like game development is so cutthroat and the turnover at companies is high and the pay is low and the work-life balance is just all broken. So like I just never really got into game development just because I heard so many negative things about it. Also, like if you want to go down your own path and like create an indie game, it's also super competitive. It's really hard. A lot of the times your work doesn't even make it anywhere. So I just got really discouraged from it, but maybe I'll consider doing it again. Thoughts on progressive web apps versus native apps? I was thinking with PWA, I could run ads to get users fast, but again, I was thinking it depend on the type of app. Well, I don't like JavaScript, so I don't necessarily like progressive web apps, right? Like I don't like to code them, but like as a business solution, perfectly fine. If you're already used to using JavaScript, if you're already used to building out websites, then they can be like a really viable option and you could probably get up and running really quickly. So those are my thoughts. One thing as a user, I just generally don't like when I open an app and it feels like a website. So that's one thing. I'm running it on like 20 frames per second, but I pretty much give it all my PC power just for it to be somewhat usable. But I'm loving Swift and UIKit at the moment, so it'll do the job until I get a Mac machine. That's cool, Lai. And then 100% agree with that, Romeos. So, Lai, I'm just kind of curious, like, what are your specs on your computer that you're able to run a virtual machine Mac? Like, I'm kind of curious because I may actually build out, I might build a machine and figure out like how cheap you can actually get started with iOS development and see how everything goes. Because that's like the biggest barrier of entry for iOS development. I personally think it's the easiest thing to get up and running with. But, the problem is being able to afford, at a $800 computer, essentially. So, yeah. All right, get cached files. So what we're going to do is first we'll do like, this is going to be an asynchronous function. Get cached file for path. This is going to be string. Okay, so then what I need to do is I need to check the last path with the key. Okay. Key, file key, or let's just do key. Key. This is going to be a future file. Alright, so what we need to do is first, let's get the cached image directory. So final directory is equal to await get cached image directory. Then in that directory, we need to, let's see, what would be the easiest way to do this? I guess contains, right? Or first where final entity is equal to directory dot list let's see. Okay, so follows links is false. Any symbolic links found? No. Let's see. Recursive. Okay. We're going to list, and then we're going to do this. Recursive, I think, is true. And follows links is false, like that. And that gives us a list. Is this a wait a minute. How did we do this? Let me see. How did we do this? Now I'm forgetting how we did it. How is this a stream? I feel like this is not right. Dot list a list of, okay, maybe this is the one. List synchronously, and then we want to do recursive, true, and then we want to do follows links, false. All right. So now, if this is synchronous, is it a future or no? Okay, so it's just a list. And what we'll do is we'll say first where element contains element is okay. Element dot path contains the key, like so. All right, so we have our list, and then we're getting the first where, and then we return the entity. So entity dot file get cached path, I guess. Path, like that. Get cached path and string entity dot path. There we go. All right. Sorry, I was kind of digging deep into this coding thing and I forgot to check the chat. Okay, Lai said, I'm using a 8 GB RAM Intel i5 CPU and NVIDIA GTX. Okay, I am going to take a screenshot of that because I am not going to remember any of that other than maybe an i5 and 8 GB of RAM. Don't know the NVIDIA thing. It doesn't use GPU at all. So the NVIDIA part is GPU. So I would assume it doesn't really matter if you have a graphics card or not. AJ says, hey, I got an MVP, most valuable person. After I work overtime as I was learning and implementing block in a Salesforce project. PS, I learned from your videos. Oh, that's awesome, AJ. Awesome. That's really cool. Like what? So implementing in a Salesforce. Oh, okay. Salesforce project. That's really cool. Congrats. I could have made a Hackintosh where I'd be running macOS on a separate partition, but that's such a hassle that I decided to go with the easiest route instead. That sounds exactly like what I want to do, Lai, is what's the easiest path to iOS development if I can't afford a Mac? And that is exactly what I would want to do. Hackintosh just sounds like, it does sound like a hassle. So yeah. What's going on, Gonzalo? Thanks for joining. Welcome back. Everything is going good. Had a really good day so far. Got good news about my performance review, so that's good. And then also had a hackathon this weekend. Had a lot of fun. If you want to build a PC, I definitely recommend 16 gigabytes of RAM so that you have the flexibility to either use both Mac and Windows without that much performance loss, or you could run your entire virtual machine with all its RAM. However, as I said, the biggest downside is the inability to use a GPU. So there's two different things that I want to do, Lai. The first is I want to find out what's the cheapest, quickest way to get up and running with Mac or iOS development, and it's most likely going to be with your own PC, right? Like maybe even like a laptop. You know, you could go to the store, buy a $100, $200 laptop. Is there anything that I could do to get that laptop up and running with the virtual machine for iOS development? Now, it might be super slow and laggy, and that's something that you're going to have to take a hit with, right? Like, if you're not going to pay the price, then it's not going to be optimized for that type of thing. But is it doable? Is it within reason, right? Like, it might take 5 to 10 minutes to run anything, but that would be okay, right? Like, you'd have to be okay with that. And what you would be able to do is you'd still be able to do your iOS development, but the run times would be like a real pain in your side, but you'd still be able to do it. And that's what I want to figure out. The other thing is, like, I might end up building a PC just so that I could have a PC. And then also I would have like a streaming machine. So then I could actually do all the streaming and all that stuff on that computer, because like this one is kind of eh. The best way is to have the laptop / PC running a Linux distro. I'll keep that in mind. So the problem with Linux is that you might not be familiar with Linux, and then there's all kinds of different distros to choose from. So if I could just get a Windows PC to do it, a Windows laptop or something like that to do it, then that's probably going to be the simplest way for most people, as opposed to having to learn about Linux as well. But yeah, I'll probably do that in the near future. I want to do that this year for sure. All right, so get cached image directory, right? And this should actually be accessible from outside. And then we would get cached. No, let's do get cached file. That's what I really want. File. And then we'll return a file. All right, so now we can get the cached image directory and the cached file. So what we can do is we can remove this. I am now going to do my singleton, right, which is called image cache.instance. What's going on here? Is defined. Oh, okay. Let's see. The problem is that there's already something called an image cache. Of course there is. Of course there is. Of course there is. Local image cache, right? Let's go ahead and rename all of these things. So then what we could do over here, local image cache, like that, instance dot get cached image directory dot path. All right, but first, so let's see. If let's see, if await actually it final path. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, image file like this is equal to await local image cache instance dot get cache get cached file for key. Then we do widget dot image key like that. If image file is equal to null, like this, like that, then we'll do this. Lastly, we will do this. We will set download result to the file like this. Image file is equal to that. And we will set this to that. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to get back the cached file if it exists. If it doesn't exist, if we're not getting anything back, then we'll download it and then we'll set the state. All right, cool. That should work. This should work. All right. Let's see. Because virtual machines are much better on Linux compared to Windows, plus Linux is practically empty, so everything runs so much faster. But yeah, definitely something like VirtualBox is more than enough to get set up and running with iOS development with any hardware. Do you trade stonks? I don't trade stocks. I try to get into it a little bit with like Robinhood, but then Robinhood like also did that thing where they were like, nah, you can't trade your stuff. So then it's like, well, I don't know how much I want to actually get into this. It's kind of sketchy. You're just taking my money. You don't let me pull it out when I want. So I need to get into stocks though. I really should. All right, let's see. We aren't using material in here. I don't know why it's in here. So we have our cache. And since it's downloading to an actual directory, we don't have to worry about anything like manually putting it in there. So get image directory, path, download result, passes it in there. Then, yeah, I think this should work. Yep. And I think we should actually not even see the downloaded image. We should just see the images pop up without getting this downloaded images. Let's see. It doesn't look like it's working. Okay, but there's all kinds of stuff in here. Okay. Flutter serialized model could not be found with that name, and it will be ignored. Dang it. I really want to get this working. Huh. Flutter serialized model could not be found, and that name with that name, and it will be ignored. What does that even mean? What are you referring to right now? Let's see. Okay, let's try that. Doesn't look too helpful. Okay, so else print existing file. Okay, so we got the existing file, but the problem is that it's not being loaded. And if we print, let's do this, we'll do existing file, and then we'll do image file dot path. Let's see. And then we do a restart. So existing file. So we're getting back the files, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like they're actually getting loaded. So we set the file here, and see, I don't know what this is. But it's coming after the fact, right? So that's like, it shouldn't even matter. But we are getting this here. And file is definitely not null. Yeah, file is not null. So if we print this dot file, and we do a hot restart, we should get 3 instances of file. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. What in the world? Oh, stupid. I don't know where this file is coming from, but this is supposed to be image file. Okay. Wow. Wow, Kilo. Really? That's how you code? Haha, yee. Look at that. And actually, let's do it on here because it's probably smoother. There we go. All right. See, that's how we do it. Okay. Okay. Let's do another one, shall we? Oh, this is going to look weird because I have... oh, no. This should actually work. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it like this. We'll do the camera this time. We're going to take a look at your boy like, ooh, like, hey. Like that. We put in a caption. Let's see if we can get the thing to show. Dang it. Like, hey. Like that. And then we post it. And after the post, it should go back to the screen. We haven't implemented that functionality, apparently. And we haven't implemented the observe functionality. All right, so let's go ahead and do another hot restart. Oh no. I got this weird bad state. May need to look into that. But let's try to do a fresh run and let's see if it works. All right. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know why it crashed though. Let's see, it crashed right here. It had something to do with like dirty state or something like that. Let's see. And here we go. All right, I'm going to open up Visor again. I don't know where it would have crashed though. Should be fine. But 2 different things that I saw. So when I'm at our create post, new post, right? Well, we'll tackle it one thing at a time. Let's see if this actually works. Okay, it blew up. Oh, that's right. You have to do like an else, which is so weird. It's so weird that you have to do it like this. Else, or first where, and then there's like there's like an else or else. Yeah, something like that. That's what it was. That's so weird. Like the fact that it doesn't automatically return null is kind of weird to me. Oh, and then we also have to do that too, right? So like if entity is not equal to null, else return null. This can go up. This needs to be wrapped. And we save it. Yeah. Yeah, this is a little bit weird, but yeah, I remember that this or else thing is the entire reason why I can't do like the whole entire firstware. It actually has stopped me in the past from using firstware because I didn't know that. All right, first let's hold on. Let's try that one more time because I'm not convinced. If you could even do a hot restart, it doesn't look like you can. There we go. All right, now run it. Okay, so if this is null, which should be a perfectly valid thing to return, so I'll put one right here so we can get a little bit cleaner. Okay, so directory list sync. So first where it's this or else it's going to be null. If entity is not equal to null, then return the file, else return null. That seems right. So it shouldn't be blowing up anymore. I'm not really sure why it would blow up, but hey, things be blowing up. Things be blowing up. So yes. And then also, let's see, are we actually observing under our feed block? I know that we do the query, right? Okay, well, let's wait. Okay, it's still blowing up. Okay. Exception has occurred. I suppose we should probably be wrapping all this in a try catch, right? Try catch error print error return null. All right. Can we at least get an idea of why you're breaking? So I can understand the other problem, right? Like, okay, I was doing firstware and then I'm automatically assuming that there has to be an element that contains it. I get that. Or else null. So like, is it because or else is supposed to return a function? See, that's all you had to say. But no, instead you make me freaking guess that I'm supposed to return null. So that's like, I don't know what Dart is called because it's technically a type safe language, but it loosely enforces those rules, or the linter is kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's the linter. Maybe if I was in Android Studio, it'd be better. I don't know. But the fact that I was able to pass null there, that's not exactly what I meant. It's kind of a bummer. So it wasn't that I wanted it to be null, I wanted to return null if that was the case. So now that makes sense to me, and we should actually be able to return or actually download the image, I guess. Yep, that worked, but it blew up somewhere else after dispose. Set state was called sometime after dispose. Ah, okay. That's a pretty valid reason. I think I know what happened. So you see how only two images are shown here? The problem is that the images are shown here, but the images down here are still trying to set the state, but they probably don't exist anymore, something like that. And we're calling set state on those images. So what I probably have to do is if mounted, then we set state like that. This could also be solved if I had like some placeholder and it was taking up like some like type of size for us, so that we could have like, okay, well, this is what a post, the general size of a post is going to be, and we don't show these circular progress indicators because then you could have like multiple on the screen. But it is what it is, so that's fine. That is fine. It just kind of shows that we're doing stuff asynchronously, even though we're not doing anything too crazy. But now this amplify image is coming into place. It looks like it's starting to work. I still wish that there was a way to like just use like a cached version. I wish that you could just pass in a file, like a directory, have all of that handled for you. Maybe I'll recommend that to the team. So that's like the good thing about being in my position, is like I can make recommendations to the team, and hey, if enough people like it, then like they might actually implement it. So let's see. We got the images and nothing blew up. Oh, hey. Like, hey. Okay, cool. So we got the images. They're a little bit funky. Let me see. It's not perfect. Might need to work on that a little bit, but that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So thank all of y'all for coming out and hanging out on the stream. What I will do is I will plug the Discord. I am on this thing just about every day. I wasn't on it this weekend actually, but I'm on this thing almost every day. And if you have any questions or you want to continue the conversation, feel free to reach out there. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you for your time. Go out there and keep coding passionately.